Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. A man can be pulled in by what he sees, but if you want him to stay, you got to touch what he feels. See, a lot of folks think men are only wired for the physical, but if that's all you bring to the table, you'll only be remembered for the moment, not the lifetime. A man's body can want you today, but his mind, oh, that's the thing that'll keep him coming back tomorrow, next week, and for the rest of his days. Let me break this down for you. People get so wrapped up thinking a man is all about the physical, the looks, the shape, the body. And sure, I ain't gonna lie to you, that's the first thing he notices. That's how God wired him. But if you want to get past the surface and into something that lasts, you got to understand one thing. A man's mind, his heart, his spirit, those are far stronger than his eyes. See, beauty might get his attention, but emotional connection, that's what keeps him there. Now, a man can see 100 pretty faces in his lifetime, but you show me the woman who can make him feel understood, who can make him feel safe to be himself, who can speak to the dreams he's scared to tell the world about. I'll show you the woman who has his loyalty without even asking for it. Because men, real men, don't stay where they're just entertained. They stay where they feel at home. Here's the problem, though. A lot of folks don't build a home, they just decorate the front porch. They work on looking good, sounding sweet, being fun in the moment, and then wonder why the interest fades. Ladies, let me tell you, if all you give a man is the outside, that's all he'll know you for. But if you give him something that reaches inside, the part of him nobody else touches, he'll start seeing you as more than a moment. He'll start seeing you as his safe place. Men crave that connection, even if they don't always say it out loud. He might be the strong, quiet type. He might be the busy, driven one. But at the end of the day, every man wants a place where he can drop his guard. When you talk to him about his dreams, when you remember what he told you 3 months ago, when you stand in his corner, even when the crowd turns on him, that's when you step into his heart. That's when his mind starts playing you on repeat like his favorite song. It's not about doing everything for him. It's not about losing yourself in the process. It's about connecting with who he is on the inside. Because you can give a man the prettiest woman in the room, but if she can't meet him where he is emotionally, he'll feel alone even with her right there. But give him a woman who sees past his job, past his tough day, past his armor, and suddenly she's the one he can't stop thinking about. And don't think that connection means agreeing with everything he says. No, no. A strong emotional bond comes when you can challenge him without tearing him down, when you can tell him the truth without making him feel small. A man who respects you for that will listen to you over anybody else because he knows you're speaking to help him, not hurt him. That kind of trust, it's rare. And once you have it, you don't lose it. Let me put it this way. Attraction might bring him to the door, but connection is what gets him to move in. He'll look at other women and admire their beauty, but his mind will be back on you. The way you make him laugh when he's stressed, the way you believe in him when he's doubting himself, the way you bring peace into his storm. That's the kind of thing you can't compete with by just having a nice body. So if you want a man's mind to desire you more than his body ever could, you got to give him something deeper, something that can't fade with age, can't be replaced by the next pretty face, can't be taken away by time. That's emotional connection. And once you have it, you're not just another woman he's met. You're the one he keeps, protects, and treasures because you got the one thing nobody else gave him, a place to rest his soul. Let me tell you something most people get wrong about love. They think it's all about chemistry, sparks, butterflies in the stomach. And sure, that's cute in the beginning, but let me tell you the truth. What makes a man stay, what makes him keep wanting you year after year is respect and admiration. You can be the finest thing walking, but if he doesn't respect you, that desire is going to fade faster than cheap perfume. See, respect is a whole different ball game. Respect is what makes a man sit up and take notice of you in a way that goes beyond the physical. A man can be attracted to a lot of women, but the one he admires, oh, that's the one he invests in. That's the one he'll listen to, the one he'll fight for, the one he'll protect, because in his mind, respect is tied to value. And if he values you, he's not going to risk losing you. But here's the thing. Respect isn't something you can beg for or demand. It's something you carry. It's how you speak about yourself, how you carry yourself, how you treat yourself when no one's looking. It's the standards you set and the boundaries you keep. A man sees that, and trust me, it registers. When he realizes you won't let him or anybody else treat you less than you deserve, that's when admiration kicks in. And admiration, that's the secret sauce. Because when a man admires a woman, his desire for her grows in ways that aren't just physical. He starts looking at her as an equal, a partner, someone who challenges him to be better. He stops thinking of her as just his woman and starts seeing her as the woman, the one he measures everybody else against. And that's when you've got his mind, his loyalty, and yes, his body all locked in. Now, some people think respect means being hard, being unapproachable. No, no, no. Respect isn't about building walls. It's about showing the world you have value and you won't sell it cheap. It's about kindness with strength, grace with backbone. It's about being able to say, I love you, and still say, but I won't tolerate that. And believe me, when a man sees you stand firm in your values, even if it means risking the relationship, he can't help but admire that courage. I've seen men who thought they were players hang up their jersey for a woman who carried herself with dignity. Not because she played games, not because she manipulated him, but because he looked at her and said, I can't lose her. And when a man says that to himself, that's when the real desire begins. It's not about chasing something new. It's about protecting what he already has. And ladies, I want you to hear me on this. Admiration isn't built just on looks or charm. It's built on how you live. It's how you handle your business, how you speak about people, how you push through your challenges. A man watches how you react when life hits you. He notices if you crumble under pressure or if you stand tall. He notices if you encourage him when he's down or if you kick him while he's low. And the more he sees your strength and your heart working together, the deeper his respect becomes. Once that respect is there, the physical attraction doesn't go away, it actually grows. Because now he's not just attracted to your face, your body, or your style. He's attracted to your character, your courage, your integrity. You become more beautiful to him with every situation he watches you handle. And that's the kind of beauty that doesn't fade with age. When a man truly respects and admires you, he desires you in a way that's not just about passion, it's about purpose. He desires you because you inspire him. You lift him higher. You make him want to be worthy of you. And when that happens, you'll notice something. You're not the one chasing his attention. He's the one making sure you know every single day that you're the most important woman in his life. Confidence and independence are like magnets to a man's mind. They pull him in a way that beauty alone never could. A woman who knows who she is, who walks in her own lane, and who doesn't apologize for it is unforgivable. She doesn't need to scream for attention or prove her worth. She just lives it, and it speaks louder than anything she could ever say. That kind of presence makes a man's curiosity grow because he sees someone who doesn't rely on him for her identity, yet somehow makes him want to be part of her world. When a man meets a confident woman, he notices right away that she's not waiting for him to decide her value. She's already decided it herself. She doesn't shrink back when life gets tough, and she doesn't fold when someone doubts her. That strength tells him she's someone who can stand by his side, not behind him, not beneath him, right there with him. And that's when his mind starts racing, wondering how deep her strength runs, how far her vision goes, and what it would feel like to share life with someone like that. Independence doesn't mean she doesn't need anyone. It means she chooses who she lets into her life. A man respects and desires a woman more when he knows she's not with him out of desperation, but out of choice. That choice gives her power, and that power makes her attractive in ways he can't even explain. He knows she can handle her own business, manage her own dreams, and stand on her own 2 feet, yet still be soft enough to let him in. That balance between strength and openness is rare, and it leaves an imprint on his thoughts. A confident, independent woman moves differently. She's not chasing approval, so she doesn't play games to get attention. She's not worried about being replaced because she knows her value doesn't depend on whether someone stays or goes. That calm energy drives a man crazy, not in frustration, but in fascination. He finds himself wondering what it would take to win her time, her trust, her heart. And when a man starts thinking like that, his desire shifts from surface level attraction to deep, invested pursuit. Confidence also changes the way she communicates. She speaks with purpose. She listens with intent. And she doesn't shy away from speaking her truth. She can be kind without being a pushover and firm without being harsh. That kind of clarity in a woman is magnetic because it tells a man she's not here to waste her time or his. It makes him feel like if she's choosing to give him her energy, he's got something worth holding on to. The beauty of independence is that it creates a life worth sharing. A woman with her own goals, her own passions, her own rhythm brings so much more to a relationship. She doesn't just sit back and wait for him to create the whole life. She's already building hers. And when those two lives come together, it's not about filling empty spaces. It's about multiplying joy. That's the kind of partnership a man can't stop imagining because it's rooted in strength, not need. Men are naturally drawn to challenges that feel worth it. Confidence and independence present that exact challenge. It's not about making it hard for him just to play games. It's about showing that your heart and your time are valuable and only someone serious will get access. That unspoken standard makes a man step up. It makes him want to be better, to be consistent, to be someone you can actually rely on. And the more he works for that, the deeper his investment grows. When a man sees that you're whole without him but still want him, it does something to him. It tells him you're not there because you have to be. You're there because you choose to be. And that choice, backed by your confidence, your independence, and your sense of self, is what keeps his mind hooked. He won't just think of you as the woman he's attracted to. He'll think of you as the woman he can't stop admiring, respecting, and desiring in ways that last far beyond the physical. Genuine communication is one of the most powerful tools when it comes to creating a bond that lasts. It's more than just talking. It's about truly understanding and being understood. A man might be drawn in by what you look like, but it's the way you make him feel heard and the way you listen that makes him want to stay. Real communication creates safety, and safety creates connection. When a man feels safe with you, his guard drops, his truth comes out, and his mind starts to see you differently, not just as someone he's with, but as someone he can trust with the parts of himself he hides from everyone else. So many relationships fail because people talk, but don't communicate. They listen just enough to answer, not enough to understand. But when you give a man your full attention, when you listen with patience instead of judgment, it's like you're telling him without words, you matter. What you feel matters. I see you. That's powerful. That's how you touch his mind in a way that's deeper than any compliment or physical gesture. Real communication also means honesty, even when it's uncomfortable. It's easy to talk about the good stuff, but the truth gets tested in the hard conversations. A man respects a woman who can be truthful without tearing him down, who can correct him without making him feel small, who can speak her needs without attacking his character. That's emotional maturity, and it makes him admire you in ways he didn't expect. He sees that you're not just there for the fun, you're there for the growth. Genuine communication isn't just about words either. It's in your tone, your timing, and your body language. You can say the right thing the wrong way and lose the message. But when your words and your heart match, he feels it. He can sense you're not playing a role or giving rehearsed lines. You mean it. And in a world where so many conversations are shallow or distracted, that kind of sincerity stands out. Men crave a space where they don't have to guess what you're feeling. They want to know where they stand, and they want to feel like they can tell you where they stand without paying a price for it. When you create that kind of space, the connection deepens. It's no longer just about physical attraction or shared activities. It becomes about emotional partnership. And when he feels like you're his partner in understanding, not just in rent-free in his mind. One of the most underestimated parts of communication is asking questions and actually caring about the answers. When you remember what he told you months ago, when you check back in on something important to him, when you show him that his words stay with you, he feels valued. That's the stuff that makes him think about you when you're not around. That's the kind of attention that's hard to find and even harder to forget. Good communication also builds trust over time. Trust isn't just given, it's earned through consistent honesty, consistent listening, and consistent care. A man who trusts you with his thoughts will eventually trust you with his dreams. And when he trusts you with his dreams, you're no longer just someone in his life, you're part of his vision for the future. That's when desire shifts from temporary to permanent. At the end of the day, genuine communication turns love from a moment into a movement. It makes the connection unshakable because even when feelings get tested, the truth holds everything together. And once a man experiences that kind of connection with you, there's no going back to shallow conversations or surface level attraction. You've given him something that lives in his mind, something that keeps him coming back, not because he has to, but because no one else makes him feel that